I'm not hearing you.
Test, test, test. Yeah. So I'll use this just when the head's underneath the water. Okay. Oops. So first things first. Paddle on here. Fingertips together. Thumb on the outside of the strap. And what I'm going to get you to do, Craig, is you're just going to kick on your side. So you'll have that left arm forwards, other arms down by the side, and your whole body is just going to be on your side. And I'll just be talking to you through the headset and giving you feedback on what we want to do. All right, let's just give that a little bit of a go. So just kick on the side to begin with. That's it. Very good. Take a breath whenever you need to. Good. Now notice how you're drifting towards me. So what's happening there is exactly what we see on the video, where this left hand wants to cut across in front of their head. That's better. Now that's overcompensated a little bit. So if you keep your eyes looking down, we want to look at that black line and we just want to keep ourselves nice and straight. That's much better now. Now you got it. Good. All right, let's just pause it there then for a second. Very good. So by using that black line as a little bit of a gauge, what you then started to do was you started to move this hand to almost steer yourself straight, which is what we want. Yeah. We want that hand like perfectly straight. If you imagined if I was still filming you from the top, we should still see that hand here and not over there, basically. So now let's try going back in this direction with the paddle on the other hand.
Should I be like just breathing as advanced?
Yeah, just eyes down, blowing bubbles, and then take a breath whenever you need to. Yeah. So let's try it the other way around now. So paddle on the right hand. That's it. That's okay. And just kicking on the side. Here we go. Right hand forwards, left hand down. There we go. Excellent. Roll to take a breath when you need to. Now just keep your whole body a little bit more on its side. So even when you've got your eyes down, keep your body. That's better, Craig. That's perfect. Textbook, in fact. Textbook perfect. Very good. Lovely. Excellent. And pause it there. Really good. Now, you could say, when you watch that back on the video, well, of course that side is going to be better because that's my favorite breathing side. But what we're doing there is just by doing it the second time, it's all just improving your familiarity of where that hand needs to be. So let's try it again. Paddle on the left hand and let's see if we can make it a bit better with the left hand forwards. Okay, let's give this a little bit of a try. Remember, it's the left one that was really cutting across in front of the head like this. Yeah. So we've really got to think on this side, shoulder blades together and back. Okay, here we go. When you're ready, left hand forwards. Much better. Now this is like chalk and cheese compared to the first time you tried this. This is much better. Just keep yourself on your side though. So even when you're breathing, that's all right. So keep your body on the side. So whether you're taking a breath or you got your head down, body on the side. That's much better. Lovely. All right. I could literally use this as a perfect example of how to do this drill right now. And that's a big difference in just the space of 25 meters. Well done. Very good. All right, pause it there. So hopefully you can see, so keeping it much better there. You've got that rotated position. But if we looked at you from the bird's eye, you're dead straight now, which is what we want. It makes you suddenly appear a lot taller in the water, just simply because we've stretched it out, basically. So let's try going back in this direction now. Paddle on the right hand. Now, the other swimmer's jumped out, so we'll use this opportunity to use the black line as our line and actually stay on the black line, yeah. Right hand forwards, that's it. Just kicking on the side, here we go. You've got it, very good. Lovely stuff. That's it. Perfect. Good. Awesome. All right, so we've sorted out how straight you are now. Say again, sorry? Oh, you just got a bit of water?
Maybe because of the glass.
Oh yeah, maybe, yeah. So if you just sneak forwards here, it's maybe just, there's a, the seal is maybe just getting caught underneath the cap a little bit. That should be a little bit better there, yeah. Yeah, that's right, exactly, yeah. Okay. So, you're a lot straighter now, but when you were kicking with your eyes down, blowing bubbles, this lead arm was perfect. When we went to take a breath, and it didn't matter whether you were breathing to that side or to the other one, we took a breath and we actually leant on that arm and did this. And you'll see it on the video because it looks like the hand sort of drops in the water. So now all we're going to do is we're going to repeat it one more time, but without letting the hand push down. So the way to stop that happening is just to always feel like you've got engagement between the shoulder blades. Do you ever use the gym at all?
I have done.
You have done, yeah. Imagine being on a rowing machine. Yeah. When you're doing the rowing machine, you draw the shoulder blades together and back. It's the same movement. Or it's the same movement if somebody tells you, hey Craig, you're slouching, stand up tall. That movement there. Yeah, exactly right. So let's give it a little bit of a go. So straight down the black line again, left hand forwards. Just still on the side, yeah. But we're just gonna try and stop that hand pushing down on the water. Okay, here we go. Left hand forwards. That's it. Take a breath whenever you need to. Lovely. That's much better. Just take your fingertips slightly deeper in the water. So just take that's better. There you go. But keep it absolutely stable. Lovely. Well done. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So good. So good now. Head position is great when you're breathing. All right, let's just pause it there. Feel how much better that is? It's dead stable now, dead straight. The interesting thing with this is if we were to do a drill where we were focusing on this, we already know that you're getting a 5 out of 5 on the thing. You wouldn't find that a problem. The reason we're having to do this 2 or 3 times is because this is literally the thing that we need to fix. So don't think to yourself, oh, I've got to do it again or what have you. You're actually making some really good progress each time we try it, and it's looking good. So let's go to the paddle on the right hand now. Same thing. Just kicking on the side, shoulder blades together and back. And again, the hand just wants to feel like it's doing the same thing all the way from here to the end, never pushing down or moving around. Okay, right hand forwards, here we go. That's it, take a breath when you need to. You got it, well done. Excellent. Lovely. You literally look like a javelin or an arrowhead pointing down the pool here, which is exactly what we want. Very good. All right.
It's satisfying having more propulsion.
Exactly, and that's one of the reasons why we use the longer fin there. Is the last thing I want you to think about is how hard you're kicking just to keep yourself going forwards. Yeah. Remember what I said to you on the video. Yes, the legs are doing this, but it's not because you've got something wrong with your legs. It's that's causing this. Yeah. So rather than actually bringing more attention to the legs, we can actually defocus a little bit from the legs and focus on the thing that we need to correct, which is this at the front.
So how do they look, the legs? You know,
fine, totally fine, yeah. But the test will be in shortly when we start to actually do some proper freestyle. Yeah. Okay, so let's give this a little bit of a go now. We're going to leave that kickboard on the side. We're going to grab this pointy paddle instead. Middle finger through the loop. That's it. And once you've got it on, you might just want to tighten the strap slightly.
Oh, yeah, you don't want it falling off.
At least not too much anyway, yeah. Cool. Okay, so we're going to go like this. We're going to kick on the side, shoulder blades together and back. Really try and visualize just how far across in your head, in front of the head, the hand was. It was like that. So we're trying to straighten it out. Once we
actually doing a stroke?
Well, we're going to kick on the side for about 10 meters and then we're going to start to swim. And when we start to swim, your only challenge is can you go like this and keep that paddle on your hand and stop the hand going back to its default over here. Okay, I'll guide you through. Let's go side kicking first. Straight down that black line. Use the black line like your gauge. That's it. Fingertips and thumbs together. So really keep the fingers and thumbs together of that left hand. That's better, Craig. That's much better. Lovely stuff. Trying to keep yourself straight. It's better. All right, let's give it a little bit of a try then. Freestyle to the end. Can you keep the paddle on your hand? Good. Try to keep your fingers and thumbs together with that left hand. That's better. Much better. Good. We're moving forwards. Excellent. Excellent. Lovely. It's like free speed. You're starting now to swim 50 meters rather than 56. It's good. Feel that?
Yeah.
Way better. And this is the reason why I film it, is because hopefully you can feel it, but when you can see it later on, it's like, ah, I get what he's trying to say now.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing with that there is that I described it almost like free speed. if we wanted to be really crude about that snaking, we could say that you think you're in a 50-meter pool, but you're actually doing 56. Okay, and our goal really is to try to get you to do 50 meters by keeping it straight. And if you think about that, for the ramifications of that from Northcott to Cottesloe, massive, because there you haven't got a black line to follow at all. So if you're doing this, you probably think, okay, everyone says this is an 800-meter swim, and yet my Garmin's telling me 1,000 meters. It's probably because we've been weaving around like that. So let's try it the other way around now. So go paddle on the right hand, and we're going to start off kicking on the side. And again, the only task here is to breathe away from the paddle and keep the paddle on that right hand. That's the only thing you got to do. So let's go side kicking to begin with. Right hand forwards, fingers and thumbs together. That's it. There, very good, very good. Excellent. You got it. Okay, and whenever you're ready, just breathe towards me, Craig. Let's go freestyle to the end. Lovely. Stretch forwards with that hand. There, perfect stroke. Good job. That's it. Very good. You got it, Craig. Lovely. Now, literally, it looks like you've grown a foot in the water, as in 12 inches, 30 centimeters longer in the water, because we're reaching forwards now. So much better. Good. All right, well done. Nice. Now, the thing with that is it always looks good on the hand that you've got the paddle on. The challenge is, how do we make it look good on the hand that you haven't got the paddle on? So on that last lap, you had that nice straight movement there with the right, but the left was still wanting to go back to the old stroke. So by putting both paddles on and going back to some bilateral breathing, we'll get it working a lot better. So I'll show you what I mean. If you put both of those on, we're going to go down the lap, and you're just going to say this to yourself. 1, 2, and then as you breathe, don't think about breathing, just say to yourself, straight. So it's 1, 2, straight. 1, 2, straight. And you're just simply saying that to yourself over and over again. It's a bit similar to what you heard with the bilateral, the bubble breathe, but rather than actually thinking breathe, we're thinking straight. Okay, let's give it a little bit of a go. Straight down that black line. When you're ready, over to you. 1, 2, straight. 1, 2, so 1, 2, so 1, 2, and then, so just pause for a second, just stop for a second. So what you're doing there at the moment, you're just breathing towards me every time, but what we want to do is we want to go 1, 2, and then go to the other side, straight. Bilateral breathing, yeah. Okay, here we go. Just say to yourself 1, 2, straight. Here we go. 1, 2, and straight. Good. 1, 2, and straight. You've got it. 1, 2, and straight. Nice. 1, 2, and straight. Good, Craig. 1, 2, and straight. Well done. 1, 2, straight. Good. 1, 2, bingo. Got it? Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a 7.5 out of 10 there for that one. The reason it's not the full 10, and this is to be expected because everyone does it, you got the rhythm, the 1, 2 straight, but when you watch it back on the video, you'll see your hands are like this, grabbing on for dear life onto those paddles. So what I want you to do, let's just do exactly the same again, but we'll keep the fingertips and thumbs together. Absolutely. Because what's going to happen here is we're going to do that to the halfway, and when we get to the halfway, this will feel awful, but we're going to do it anyway. When we get to the halfway, I want you to go right back to doing this. Oh, okay. And you'll instinctively go back to doing that, grabbing the paddle, because as soon as you go wrong, those paddles are going to come flying off your hand, basically. All right, let's give it a go. So new stroke first, but just keep the hand together. Almost imagine your hand is taking the form of that paddle. Yeah. It's like a spear into the water. Okay, here we go. Straight. They're perfect. They're perfect, yeah. Okay, when you're ready, here we go. Straight down that black line. 1, 2, straight. 1, that's it. 2, and straight. Lovely. 1, 2, and straight. Good. 1, 2, and straight. Excellent. That was a much better than the first time. 2 and straight. Okay, now go back to crossing over. I want you to purposely go back to, there we go. So that's what you were doing. Keep that doing all the way to the end of the pool. Notice how awkward that is in comparison. So this is really what we're trying to fix. Now, yeah, yeah, the interesting thing, you might think you were grossly exaggerating that, but remember on the video, this left hand was literally here.
Yeah.
So when you were swimming that first 25 and you were going straight, every ounce of energy you were putting into it was sending you down the pool. But as soon as we get to the old stroke at the halfway, it's left, right, yeah, the difference is unbelievably obvious when you see it on the video. So carry on to the end. Let's just go back to the straight feeling. Again, probably the best thing to imagine, you know, when people talk about having like an out-of-body experience, really, whenever you swim, imagine you are looking at yourself from that angle straight down. And you're just trying, you said it yourself, you said like tram tracks. The hands just going down the tram tracks there. Okay, let's carry on to the end. Here we go. That's it. Just like that. Well done. Good. Excellent. Feel that?
Yeah.
Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go a lap down to the far end. And this is quite a challenge. This really involves you trying to tune into what is going on when you're swimming. So what I mean by that, we're going to go down there. We're just going to say 1, 2 straight, 1, 2 straight. But there's one particular stroke, and it is only one stroke every now and again, where we default back to the old style. And I want you to try to detect when that's happening. All right, so set off, give yourself at least half a lap, doing the 1, 2 straight. Tune into when you think I'm looking at it and going, oh, it's not quite right there. And then when you get to the halfway, I want you to tell me which stroke I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. Just to the halfway, 1, 2 straight. Keep your fingers and thumbs together. So fingers and thumbs together. There we go, that's better. Which stroke am I talking about? Keep going a little bit further. Go a bit further so you can feel it a bit more. Which stroke? You might even be able to detect it by what you can see with the black line. Look now. Look at that stroke. So it's basically when you're breathing towards me. So when you breathe now, that's there. That's the one that you really need to focus on. Could you feel that?
Yeah,
so
on the non-preferred side.
On the non-preferred side. And you could say, well, that makes logical sense because I haven't built things up on that side, don't really know what it feels like. But the fact that you can actually tune into it, the big advantage, like I said, that you had, you know, with those other older swimmers and stuff that you mentioned down at the beach, you haven't got any bad habits on the right hand side. They're starting to form a little bit, but if we nip this in the bud now and really focus on that left arm when you breathe into the right, it's gonna make a big difference there.
The first time I tried doing bilateral breathing, I literally couldn't do more than say 2 strokes.
No.
I'd start taking in water and
taking in water,
or just defaulting back to the left.
Correct, and it's probably because that hand had just gone like this basically. So just getting it to stretch out there. So knowing that, you're going to hate me on this lap, but we're going to swim down to the far end and we're only going to breathe to your right hand side. So just breathe to your least preferred side, but just having that repetition of, okay, I'm coming up to that stroke that I don't normally like breathing on, but I'm going to make it better by just going like that, straight forwards there. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. All right, give that a little bit of a go. Straight down the black line. Here we go. I'll guide you as we go. That's it. Good. So whenever you're breathing, that's better. You need to really feel like you're going straight. Using that black line as your gauge. If you're drifting off that black line, it suggests that the hand is crossing over. This is getting better. Breathe every 4, Craig. Rather than breathe every 2, breathe every 4 strokes now. And breathe. Good. Notice how much easier it is to stay straight when you're not breathing. It's just when we go to take a breath. So that goes back to what we said there beforehand about the snorkel. When you're breathing every 4, the 3 strokes when you're not breathing, really good. Just when we go to take that breath in there. Okay, cool. Oh, that's all right. We're actually finished with the flippers now. Okay. So take the flippers off, take the paddles off, pop them on the side.
That's so much different, you know. So long since I've swum with fins.
With flippers, yeah.
That's good.
Right, okay, so what we're going to do now then, we're going to take this little pool buoy, I should say. This one is super buoyant, so you'll like the buoyancy once you've got it in there between the legs. We're going to go head up, and all we're going to do is we're going to go this little bit of sculling motion here with this lead arm. And what this is going to do, it's just going to draw awareness of where your arms are out in front of your head. So remember me talking about that clock face, and I said, look, I don't really want to take you to 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock for overcompensation. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to have those hands just moving in and out in front of the shoulders.
So what is the sculling? Because I've sort of seen that, I think, but I can't see the point.
Yeah, you'll feel, I'll talk you through the point of it right now, but basically the point is, it's going to increase your awareness of what the hands should feel like when they're in front of the shoulders. And then we'll go into our freestyle and we'll just go again back to that idea of lengthening forwards in front of the shoulder and not crossing over in front of the head. Okay.
It is a real sort of proprioception thing, you know, where the
very proprioception thing. Yeah, that's right. You know, I think as technology improves, I was thinking about this the other day. I sometimes drift off into crazy thoughts of sci-fi, basically. But I imagine, wouldn't it be cool if you could put on a skin suit that was Ian Thorpe's skin suit and actually made your body move like Ian Thorpe? So you could, or Usain Bolt, you could put on this skin suit, you could run like it, just so you could experience what it felt like. It'd be cool, and I'm sure something like that. It's not far away, no, exactly right. Okay, so let's give this a little bit of a go now then. So a little bit of sculling, and I'll just torch you as we go. Okay.
And what, breathing?
Just keep your head up out of the water, and I'll torch you as we go. Yep. Okay. So just move, that's it, just like that. Just relax your legs out behind you, take your hands a little bit deeper in the water, and just feel like you're mixing hot and cold water together. That's good, Craig. There you go. Just in front of the shoulders. So try not to let the hands cross over at the front. Keep them a little bit wider, just sort of shoulder width apart. That's great. You got it. Keep your breathing, blow bubbles in the water. That's it. Okay, and then all we're going to do now is we're going to swim freestyle to the end. Still think about those tram tracks. Okay, here we go. Let's go freestyle to the end.
Is that not usual?
Say again, sorry?
Like usual bilateral, like.
Yeah, usual bilateral, but if we say to ourselves 1, 2 straight, it's going to keep us nice and straight on that line there. Okay, when you're ready, freestyle to the end. Stretch forwards in front of the shoulder. There, that's a great stroke. Another good one. Lovely, you've got it. So again, you look a lot taller in the water now because you're reaching forwards. It's like you're pointing your middle finger down the pool. There we go, that's it, you got it. Lovely. All right, keep going, but go back to crossing over now. Go back to your old stroke. There we go. And feel the difference there. Notice how it's very hard to stay on that black line when we do that. Lovely. Feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever you get the opportunity, and there won't be many opportunities, but to get a nice lane to yourself like that, where you're confident that no one's going to come and jump on top of you, just swimming down the black line like that is your ultimate litmus test. Because if you go back to this and you keep looking down at that black line is going to be like this all over the place. You want to just feel like John O'Van Hazel on those rails and just dead straight. Like, he is so straight, it's crazy. I tend to drift in the open water. I tend to drift towards my right hand side, and it's because of years and years of never being corrected, always just going to the breathing to the right. I now practice what I preach, so I'm definitely better, but I've had 40 odd years of just doing that basically. So whenever I get sore in my shoulders, it's always my left shoulder because of that slight drift. And I try and practice this on the black line as much as I possibly can, but there's not always the opportunity to do that. Okay, so same idea, bit of sculling, but then this time, Craig, what we're going to do is we're going to then pop our head down, and you'll like this one because it actually plays to your strengths, this one. We're going to then pop the head down, and we're going to do a little bit of doggy paddle. Now remember, your pull through is where you look good.
Yeah.
So doggy paddle is just going to emphasize that, but it's also going to help us with this situational feeling of, okay, is my hand over here or is it here where it wants to be? And I'll show you how I mean. Okay, so a bit of sculling first, head up out of the water, just moving your hands in and out. That's great, just like that. It's not a particularly fast drill, this one, but it doesn't need to be. You're just sort of moving the hands in and out. Now what we're going to do is pop our head down and pull through like we're pulling along a rope. So just pop your head up here, just watch this here. So we're just going to do this. Imagine you've got a rope underneath your body. Okay. So one arm at a time, that's it, very good. Now you can imagine a rope that you're pulling yourself along, or you can imagine climbing up a step ladder. There we go, reaching from one rung to the next. Now you've definitely responded better to the step ladder analogy than the rope, and that's good because it's going to keep those hands from crossing over. Imagine the width of the step ladder being about the width of your shoulders, just like the tram tracks. Okay, and without further ado, let's go freestyle to the end, and let's keep those arms straight, extending forwards, not across. There we go, that's better. Lovely. Imagine you've got that step ladder, you're pulling yourself along. That's good. Okay, and now let's finish off by crossing over again. So go back to the old stroke. That's it. Just feel straight away. Feel like it throws you off. Feel, and it gives you a little bit of a shock at the end as well. Yeah. Can you feel it? As soon as you go back to it. So the interesting thing with this, what we're going to do just to finish off, we're going to pop the pull buoy on the side. We're going to go a bit of freestyle down the black line towards the halfway. We're going to go straight down the black line. We're going to do the 1, 2, straight thing. Really just feel like you're running your middle finger on either side of that black line. Before we get to the halfway, we're going to go back to crossing over. Yep. And it'll feel terrible again, but it'll give you that contrast. But then when we come back, just so we're not discounting every available option for you, we're going to come back and we are going to try the analogy of 10 o'clock and 12 and 2 o'clock there. Now, all I really want you to feed back on is what it felt like when you did that. The benefit of me filming it is you'll end up being able to see what it looks like. Okay, so let's start off simply though. 1, 2, straight. 1, 2, straight. Until I tell you to go back. Dog, we're just going to go normal freestyle, but the dog paddle thing is really nice because it just gives you that real visual of what that feel like. Exactly right.
Just
yeah.
pop these back because
Yes, totally fine. Totally fine. Yeah. So we're trying to go for 0 crossing over to begin with, just the new stroke essentially. No pull buoy, just normal freestyle, yeah, with the new stroke. So new stroke here. Okay, straight down the black line. Let's give it a go. 2 and straight. 1, 2, straight. Good. 1, 2, straight. Excellent. Feel like you're lengthening through that middle finger. There, that's great. All right, now go back to crossing over. So go back to the old stroke now. That's it, really cut across in front of the head. And just feel how much harder that is. All right, and let's just pause it there. Feel how much harder it is? Yeah. So suddenly your work rate goes through the roof. Yeah. Because what you're trying to do is you're just trying to compensate for something that doesn't really need to be compensated for if we're going straight. But what we'll do now is we'll go back. And like I say, I wouldn't ordinarily do this, but let me give you the opportunity to feel it. We'll go back, have that same sort of out of body experience of looking down at yourself and thinking to yourself, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
10 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, yeah. Basically going wider.
Yeah.
Basically going wider. Okay, let's give it a go. Down the black line.
When I'm doing the straight, does it look all right? Or is
it looks really good, yeah. It's way better with the right arm, as suspected. The left one still wants to cut across a little bit, but that's why we're just trying this at the end, just to sort of see what happens if we do 10 and 2, yeah. Okay, let's give it a go. Straight down the black line, use that as your reference. 10 and 2. Just tune into what that feels like. Keep doing exactly what you're thinking about right now. Now keep going, but just ask yourself what's happening to my legs, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. How did you feel with that?
Yeah, awkward.
Awkward, yeah. Why awkward? What was awkward about it, would you say?
I think I'm self-consciously,
Yeah.
you know, doing it. In terms of...
Notice how much harder you're breathing as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Quite significantly.
Yeah.
So the thing with that is, you'll watch it back on the video and you'll go, it doesn't look like it really improved the front, which is the idea, was to give you the opportunity to say, hey, can we improve this even more by going 10 and 2? It didn't actually look any real difference in terms of this, in terms of the direction of the hands.
Yeah.
But what did look different was when you were going or trying to go wider, your feet went right back to kicking out really wide, because if the hand goes into the water wider, or even if you feel like you're trying to go like that, the body will respond by trying to stabilize.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that we're trying to get away from, is the legs scissor kicking apart.
Yeah.
So with the new stroke, the difference is with the new stroke, we're trying to find neutral and trying to give you that reassurance that your arm is going in the right spot.
Yeah.
And you'll watch it later on and you go, oh, my right hand's really got it now. And every now and again you'll beat yourself up and you'll go, oh, but look at the left one. But don't panic, because I mean, it's going to be a work in progress to try and get it right. What would benefit you, and we'll just do this in this last little section here, is we'll just go to the halfway, we'll go bilateral breathing, we'll think about the hand just going 1, 2 straight, 1, 2 straight, but we'll swim with this paddle on here, just on the left hand.
Just on the left?
Yeah, just on the left, because again, it'll make you hyper aware of that left hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's the left-right difference that's kind of
That's exactly right, yeah.
quite marked for me, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'll often do this with the squad where they'll go like, why are we only swimming with one paddle on? Because everyone's used to using 2 paddles. Yeah. But by having only one paddle on, again, it just draws your attention to the thing that's, you know, still requiring attention.
So it's paddle left hand.
Paddle left hand, breathe bilaterally, 1, 2 straight, 1, 2 straight. Just see if you can avoid the temptation to grab that paddle and just really use the opportunity to send it forwards there. Okay, let's give it a go. Straight down the back line. Here we go. So fingertips and thumbs together with that left hand. So fingers and thumbs together. That's better, Craig, much better. Now this does look good. Lovely, much straighter. Well done, you got it. Keep going, but go back to crossing your left hand now. Cross your left hand in front of the head. Purposely cross your left hand now. That's it. And just feel the difference with that paddle on. Again, notice what the legs do. The legs have gone back to scissor kicking. All right, pause it there. Can you feel that? Yeah. You'll see it looks exceptionally good for about 20 meters. Yeah. And then I throw a spanner in the works by saying, just go back to doing this. And it falls apart and the legs end up going like that, basically. Yeah.
It's really like I'm oblivious to what my legs are doing.
No, that's exactly right. And really, you don't really want to send too much attention to that.
Yeah.
Especially if you know that has a very likely, logical reason as to why that would be causing that.
Yeah.
So keeping the focus here, which that did brilliantly well, that then actually gets everything else tidying up behind you. And you know, the last thing you want is like a list as long as your arm of stuff to work on.
And I think I was coming up with like a dozen things. So I'm swimming along in the ocean.
Yeah.
And you know, in addition to dealing with the waves and whatever else, then I'm thinking, oh, breathing, and then my stroke, and then fingertips down, the elbows high.
It's too much to actually try and concentrate on all of them. Exactly right. But this here is just really focused on
exactly.
Easily the biggest difference. Yeah. So just finish off just by swimming to the end. Exactly the same thing. 1, 2 straight, 1, 2 straight. Have that paddle on. If you want, and I won't tell you when to do it. If you want, every now and again, just do a cheeky one like that. So you go, oh, that doesn't feel very good, and then it'll prompt you to go back to doing that.
Yeah. And when you're saying 1, 2 straight, am I doing that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the 1, 2 straight is just a mantra. It's like a yoga mantra. It's 1, 2, and then you're saying straight when you're breathing. 1, 2, straight. 1, 2, straight. So there's not so much that you need to get right with that, other than by saying it, it's going to focus your attention on what's happening when you're breathing, not the opposite way around there, yeah. Okay, let's give it a little bit of a go.
So 1, 2 straight with the occasional dud.
Yeah, whenever it suits you. Just because then you're in control, right? It gives you that awareness of when you're doing it. Okay, when you're ready, here we go. That's it. Good. Lovely. Looking very smooth there. There, notice that dud right there. And the funny thing is, as soon as you throw one dud in, you have to throw another one to straighten yourself out. So I don't know if you caught what I just said there at the end, but as soon as you throw one dud in, you've got to throw the other one in to straighten it back out again. And that's why if that goes unchecked, you'll just constantly be doing that all the time. So it just, we've obviously simplified it to the fact that, hey, the biggest issue you've got is this crossover. But really the bigger issue is that that crossover is more so on the left arm when you're breathing right. So if you fix that one, you're having no problem at all right now. Fix it. The right one is dead straight. You'll see it on the video. You'll look at it and go, oh, it looks really good on that side. But this one is the one that keeps creeping back to wanting to go across there. So just being aware of that, you know, and then throwing in a couple of doppelgangers like you did there, will actually just help you really tune into straightening it out.
I think as I become more comfortable breathing on my non-preferred side will sort of help as well. I'm still at the point where I've really only just sort of disciplined myself into the bilateral breathing, and so sometimes I still choke on the right hand breath, so that's improving all the time.
Yes.
And I think it'll make me less. I think that's contributing to my inclination to cross over.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty.
Good.
No worries. So just come and hop out here on the side then. I'll just stop that recording for you.